Good evening, everyone. Tonight, I will going to report my topic entitled groundwater. So let us define first what is groundwater. So, groundwater is water found in pores of soil and sediment plus narrow fractures in bedrock. So, groundwater is the largest reservoir of fresh water that is readily available to humans. So, yung groundwater daw is yung mga tubig na makikita natin sa mga lupa or sediments na yung force, ibig sabihin yung may mga space, 'di ba? Hindi naman totally solid yung mga soil. So meron talagang space na meron na available, or even do sa sediments or even do sa mga fractures, ibig sabihin yung mga crack ng bato, meron talagang nag-i-stay na mga tubig. Ang tinatawag doon ay groundwater. So ito din yung pinakamalaking, which is yung pinagkukunan ng mga tao ng tubig na available na gagamitin sa pang-araw-araw na daily household chores or even the other na mga gawain ng mga tao. So, the second one is the geological role of groundwater. So, as an erosional agent, groundwater serves as equalizer of stream flow. So, it is the table where the freshwater of hydrosphere. So, as we can see, there is a table. Ice sheets and glacier is 24 kilometers, 24 million cubic kilometer. Groundwater is 4 million cubic kilometer. Lakes and reservoir is 155,000 cubic kilometer. Soil moisture is 83,000 cubic kilometer. Water vapor in atmosphere is 14,000 cubic kilometer. River water is 1,200 cubic kilometer, and the total is 28,253,200 cubic kilometer. Share of total volume of fresh water percent is, in percent it's 84%. Yung ating ice sheets, 14% yung groundwater, yung lakes and reservoir ay 0.5%, 0.2 naman yung ating soil moisture, 0.04 yung ating water vapor, at 0.004 yung ating river water, at 100% ang ating total. So the rate of water exchange is 8,000 years, 283 years, 7 years, 1 years, 1.9 days, 11.3 days. So sobrang tagal, di ba? So the next one is the zone of saturation. Formation. Water reaches a zone where all of the open space in sediment and rocks are completely filled with water. Water within the spore is called groundwater. So sabi nga, 'di ba, yung mga space na yung mga tubig sa pores, yung mga spaces na makikita sa mga is tinatawag na groundwaters, and the sediments. So yung zone of saturation naman is yung may space, 'di ba? Sabi ko, as I said earlier, na yung mga space in the sediments ng mga bato is if there is pool. So yun yung tinatawag na saturation, but the well itself saturated. So yon, and the water table naman is the upper limit of zone of saturation. So mamaya makikita natin yon sa ating table. So capillary fringe extend upward from water table. Groundwater is held by surface tension in tiny passage between grains of soil or sediments. So yun yung tinatawag natin capillary fringe. So the zone of aeration is area above the water table. So includes the capillary fringe and the belt of soil moisture. Water cannot be pumped by wells. So hindi kaya yun mapump ng mga bomba, mga wells, ng mga balloon. So this is the table na magpapakita ng distribution of groundwater. So, as we can see, ito yung soil moisture sa lupa, zone of aeration. So, kapag puno na yung yung groundwater natin, na saturate na yung zone of saturation, na puno ng lahat ng mga space, aakyat siya, mapupuno niya yung mga capillary range, water table. Yung water table ay yung sukat kung hanggang saan yung water, then tawag dito babo, and so on. What I'm trying to say para is baliktad pala, bababa pala yung tubig at maiipon doon sa ating groundwater. So yon, and the water table is the upper limit of the zone of saturation. So as pinaulit lang kanina, di ba? Variation in water table. Depth is highly variable. varies seasonable and from year to year. So, bawat taon, yun. So, shape is usually a replica of the surface topography. The interaction between groundwater and streams constitute a basic link in the hydrologic cycle. Three types of interaction is gaining streams. So, gain water from the inflow of groundwater through the stream bed. So, yon. Losing streams is the loss water to the groundwater system by outflow through the stream bed. So, stream bed naman ay makikita natin, di ba, kung nakita tayong mga streams. So, meron yung sagit ng mga tubig. So, kapag sinasabi natin gaining stream is yung tubig is umaakyat papunta doon sa inflow into the stream bed. So, ibig sabihin, dumadami yung kung nakikita natin, di ba, kapag taob, especially kapag sa ating local word, kapag taob or high tide, tumataas yung tubig, which is yung water is naga-inflow doon sa stream bed, and yung kapag low tide naman o hunas baga sa ating local name, yung water is bumababa, which is yung groundwater is throughout the system. So, lumalabas doon. So, ibig sabihin, bumababa yung ating tubig. So, ito po yung illustration ng gaining and losing stream. So, yung una is gaining stream. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga sa water table, pumupunta doon sa ating mga stream bed. Then, yung losing stream bed is, tawag dito, umaalis, the other term for umaalis is yung bumababa yung tubig at pumupunta sa iba't ibang area or directions. Then, yung losing streams disconnected naman is bumababa yung tubig at napupunta doon sa ating groundwater at naiipon sa ating, which is doon sa water table at ng groundwater. And interaction between groundwater and streams. So, what is the interactions? A combination of the first two. A stream gains in some section and losses in other areas. So, ibig sabihin yung combination ng groundwater and streams ay minsan nagagain siya ng water, but minsan yung in some areas is naglo-loss siya ng water. And factors influencing storage and movement of groundwater. So, first one is porosity, percentage of total volume of rock or sediments that consists of pore space. So, ibig sabihin yung porosity is the total volume of rock or sediment. So, ibig sabihin yung mga total na space which in mapupunan o malalagyan ng mga water natin. So, determine how much groundwater can be stored. So, malalaman din natin dito kung paano kalaki na groundwater yung ating mai-imbak o maiipon. So, variation can be considerable over short distance. So, mahalaga talaga na yung tubig is mayaman tayo sa ating groundwater kasi it is the main source of our daily needs. Especially water is one of the most important needs of human being and as well as the plants and animals also. So, this is the table selected values of porosity, specific yield, and specific retentions. Materials is soil is porosity is 55, specific yield is 40, specific retention is 15, and so forth and so on. So, yung clay, sand, gravel, limestone, sandstone, granite, basalts, yun yung makikita natin. Sa clay may 50 porosity, yung sand may 25, yung gravel may 20, yung limestone may 20, yung sandstone wala, then sandstone para 11, granite 0.1, basalt 11, so and so forth. So, permeability, aquitars and aquifers. So, permeability is the ability of material to transmit fluid. So, ibig sabihin, yung permeability naman daw is kayang tumagos. Ibig sabihin, permeability is ability to transmit fluid is kaya niyang mag-gain ng tubig, kaya niyang the material which is kaya niyang mag-absorb ng tubig or fluid. Aquitard is an impermeable layer that hinders or prevent water movement such as clay. So, yung aquitard naman is yung parang sulid talaga siya na hindi kayang pasukin o labasan ng isang tubig. Aquifer is permeable rock, strata or sediment that transmit groundwater freely. So, yung bayan naman is yung natatransmit yung groundwater natin ng walang sagabal o walang nakaharang, which is yung flow ng tubig is diretso. Yung tinatawag natin aquifer. So, movement of groundwater exceeding slowly typical rate of movement is a few centimeters per day. So, napakatagal, di ba? Napakabagal rather. So, energy for the movement is provided by force of gravity. Darcy's law. If permeability remains uniform, the velocity of groundwater will increase as slope of water table increase. So, syempre naman kapag nag-increase yung ating water table, yung kanyang slope, talagang bibilis yung pagdaloy ng mga tubig. So, katulad lang sa sasakyan yan. For example, di ba kapag nasa mataas yung slope, kahit hindi ka na magpaandar ng sasakyan, is umaandar ng mabilis at mabilis. So, ganun lang din sa ating tubig. So, the next one is hydraulic gradient. The water table slope determined by dividing the vertical difference between the recharge and discharge points by the length of flow between these points. So, yun yung ating hydraulic gradient. The water table slope determined by dividing the vertical. So, ang hydraulic naman is the vertical differences between recharge and discharge point. So, features associated with groundwater. Ito naman yung mga features. Una is hot spring. Water is 6 to 9 degrees warmer than the mean annual air temperature of locality. So, mas malamig, mas mainit yung ating tubig dito. So, the water Armos hot spring is heated by cooling of igneous rock. So, kaya pala mainit yung ating mga hot springs. So, geysers. So, intermittent hot springs, water erupts with great forces. Occur, their extensive underground chambers exist within hot igneous rock. Groundwater heats expand, change to stream, and erupt. So, makikita natin, di ba, yung geysers ay yung parang sumasabog na yung tubig pataas. So, marami na ditong naitala sa atin sa Pilipinas na mga ganon. Yung nakikita natin sa mga dagat, which is sa sobrang init, is nag-e-erupts yung tubig, tumataas yung tubig, which is nakikita natin at namamangha tayo, pero yun pala ay isang geyser. So, Old Faithful Geysers in Yellowstone National Park. Ito yung kinatawag na geysers na tinatawag. It is the example of geysers na nangyari sa National Park doon sa Yellowstone National Park. The next one is wells. To ensure a continuous supply of water, a well must penetrate below water table. So, yon yung mga wells, yung mga balon natin. So, para nga sabi dito, to ensure, so ibig sabihin para mapanatili natin yung patuloy na pag meron tayong supply ng tubig, dapat yung wells natin is below sa water table. Ibig sabihin, mas mababa siya doon sa level ng ating groundwater. Kung yung groundwater natin ay mga nasa taas, dapat mababa pa yung ating hukay ng ating wells para hindi tayo maubusan ng ating supply ng tubig. Pumping of wells can cause down, lowering of the water table. So, yung pagpapump natin ng mga wells is nakakababa talaga doon sa water table, and cone of depression in water table. So, the other one is artesian well. So, a situation in which groundwater under pressure rises above the level of aquifer. So, types of artesian wells is non-flowing. Pressure surface is below groundwater. Flowing is pressure surface is above the groundwater. So, ganun yung pagkakaiba ng ating non-flowing at flowing ng artesian well. So, not all artesian system are wells. Artesian spring also exists. So, hindi lahat ng artesian system ay wells. Meron din namang mga springs na nag-exist. So, para maging aware at na-educate tayo. So, yun. And ito naman yung mga problems associated with groundwater's withdrawal. So, threatening groundwater is a non-renewable resource. So, ibig sabihin, non-renewables. Ibig sabihin, hindi ito napapalitan o nare-replace ng another alternative. So, in many places, the water available to recharge the aquifers falls significantly short of the amount of being withdrawn. So kailangan maayos talaga yung paggamit natin ng tubig at hindi tayo abusado. Kung maaari magtipid, kailangan natin magtipid as a human kasi hindi, sabi nga dito, non-renewable at nauubos talaga yung supply ng tubig. So, as ngayon, di ba nakikita natin kung ngayon sa sobrang init ng panahon, so yung ating mga water is talagang nag-absorb and talagang nauubos dahil nga sa init ng panahon. That's why we need na magtipid sa ating mga tubig at gamitin natin ng wise, ng matalino yung ating mga water. So, So, subsidence. Groundwater sinks when water is pumped from wells faster than natural recharge process can replace it. So, ibig sabihin yung subsidence naman is kapag yung ground sinks, yung ating ground is lumubog, which is dahil nga sa sobrang bilis ng pagpump o araw-araw dahil siguro sa pag nagkukunan ng tubig is lumulubog yung mga ground. So, ibig sabihin, yung ground na yon, yung mga lupa na yon is mahalo doon sa ating mga groundwater. So, it can contaminate at mahalo at hindi na yon magiging fresh, which is hindi na yun magiging malinis dahil nga yung lumubog, dahil bumagsak yung part ng lupa na yon dahil nga sa patuloy na pagpump ng mga tubig sa ating mga groundwater or sa which is na pinagkukunan natin. So, saltwater contamination din. So, excessive groundwater withdrawal causes saltwater to be drawn into wells, thus contaminating the freshwater supply. This is primarily a problem in coastal areas. So, yung mga, syempre, di ba, kapag coastal areas, so, ibig sabihin, nag-absorb yung tubig doon is na-apektuhan, nakukontaminate ng mga salt water. Ibig sabihin kasi, totally, bumababa lalo yung mga malalapit sa ating mga coastal areas. So, di ba? Yung mga pinagkukunan nilang tubig, minsan nalalasahan nila doon, lalo kapag tinitikman nila is maalat-alat dahil nga yung nakaka-apekto din yung location nila, which is malapit sila sa dagat, and salt water can be drawn into wells. So, napupunta doon at nagiging contaminated yung tubig na meron sila. Imbes na fresh water supply na meron sila is nakakontaminated ng ating salt water. So, the next one is one common source is sewage. So, ito yon. Extremely permeable aquifers such as coarse gravel have such large openings that grounds may travel long distance without being clean. So, ito yon. So, di ba kapag, sabi dito, kapag yung tubig is malaki yung large openings niya. So, ibig sabihin yung water is freely nakaka-travel, which is, imbis na masaya yung mga latak, di ba? Kung minsan sa mga sand, di ba? Imbis na magpatuloy yung mga sand is nakaharang sila ng mga sand, yung mga bato, yung mga rocks. So, yung tubig nasasaya, ibig sabihin, nalilinis. So, ibig sabihin, yung makukuha nating tubig is malinis na at hindi na. So, pero kapag malaki yung large openings niya, mabilis, which is hindi masasaya yung mga manlilinis yung mga tubig na dumalaloy doon. So, sewage often becomes purified as it passes through a few dozen meters of an aquifer composed of sand or permeable sand. So, sinasabi ko nga, di ba? Kapag mas malaki yung aquifers na kinocompose ng isang sand is mas mabilis, yung mas ma-purified yung isang tubig na meron tayo. So, the next one is groundwater contamination is sinking a well can lead to groundwater pollution problem. So, yung mga well pala natin is nagsisink. So, ibig sabihin, talagang nag-focus yun sa pollution problem. So, magkakaroon tayo ng water pollution. The other sources and types of contamination include substances such as highway salts, fertilizer, pesticide, chemicals, industrial materials. So, nakahalo kasi doon sa wells and humahalo doon sa mga groundwater natin, especially yung mga fertilizers from agricultural sectors, pesticides, and yung mga sa industrial sectors naman natin, yung mga chemicals na galing sa kanila is nahalo doon sa mga tubig na groundwater, which is nako-contaminate yung tubig na dapat is fresh sa atin. The groundwater dissolves rocks. So, geological work of groundwater. So, ito yung geologic work of groundwater. Groundwater dissolves rock. So, amazing, di ba? So, kung iisipin natin, kaya ba talagang ma-dissolve ng isang tubig yung isang bato? So, di ba, parang ang hirap naman isipin. But let us continue our discussion in order to know and to understand what is happen, why groundwater is dissolves rock. So, groundwater is often mildly acidic, contains weak carbonic acid, forms when rainwater dissolves carbon dioxide from air and from decaying plants. So, yun pala yung dahilan. So, contains weak carbonic. So, meron pala siyang contain na carbonic acids, which is nakaka-dissolve ng isang rock, di ba? We already know that the carbonic acid can dissolve solid material. So, form when rainwater dissolves carbon dioxide from air and from decaying plants. So, kapag yung rainwater, so example, umulan, then, yung ulan napunta doon sa mga nabubulok na mga plants, even doon sa mga animals, di ba? So, pupunta siya sa bababa siya, pupunta sa groundwater. So, mahahaluan siya, magkakaroon siya ng acid, which is dissolved ng rock. That's why, di ba, yung mga bato na malapit sa tubig is nare-reform siya at naiiba yung kanyang shape sa tagal ng panahon. Hindi man totally mabilis like other substance na nakaka-dissolve ng mga solids, pero talaga sa tagal-tagal ng panahon, nare-reform yung isang bato. So, carbonic acid reacts with calcite and limestone to form calcium carbonate, a soluble material. So, yun pa, the carbonic acid which is react with calcite, limestone to form calcium carbonate. So, which is isa siya sa soluble material. Yun, and the karst topography, landscape that to large extent have a bend shaped by dissolving power of groundwater. Some common features include irregular terrain, sinkhole or sink formed by groundwater, slowly dissolving the bedrocks, often accompanied by collapse. So, striking like lack of surface drainage. So, ito yung mga dahilan, yung magiging some common features na meron sa asing groundwater. And that's all. Thank you for listening in my report.